Mixing with Mike plugin of the week is the Oeksound Soothe 2. This is the audio examples video. There's a video that precedes this, which goes over the interface. So if you want to see the settings and have an overview of what's going on, that's worth checking out. May help you understand what's going on here. If you've already seen that, welcome, and let's get straight to it. So what I have here is actually just a simple, primarily acoustic guitar vocal. It's a song that actually is perfectly suited for something like Soothe. So the idea here is that we have basically a kind of multi-band processor, or, I don't even know if you would call it a multi-band processor, like an infinite band processor that actually very quickly analyzes different frequency areas based off the settings that you have, and will apply gain reduction very tightly and smoothly with a variety of settings that'll help you to kind of dial in the sound and kind of smooth out rough edges, take away resonances, limit boominess, boxiness, de-essing, harshness, all of the above. So what I have here, I'm going to play a little bit of it, and I'm going to do it bypassed here, and then I will play a little bit of some of the settings that I ended up with just to start off with, and we'll kind of dial in and kind of take a look a little bit deeper. All right, so here is a few bars of this. So again, primarily focus on the lead vocal and the acoustic guitar.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bye. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel.
Okay, so here we have things here with the vocal where there's S's. Obviously it needs to be de-essed, so that's going to be part of the program here. There's also a kind of a little bit of a harshness or hardness about the sound, and it's a lullaby, right? So it's something that you want to be a little softer, more soothing. That would be the idea for it. And while that presence may be really important, if you have something else, like in the context of like a full track where there's plenty of other instruments to sort of kind of create the warmth and body that would fill that out, in a setting like this, it's a little bit too far. On the acoustic guitar side, that is like a lot of problems, because there's all of these notes, especially these higher notes, which really shoot out and then sort of make it hard to kind of feel the body and warmth of the guitar. So we're going to use Soothe to kind of iron that out a little bit. So here are the settings that I'm going to bypass this and play a little bit of this again, and then we'll kind of go through some of the different settings and then show you a little bit about setting it up.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bye. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile. So I'll take my time as I sing.
Okay, so here you can see how this actually really warms up, makes the vocal more intimate, brings a little bit more body back into the acoustic guitar, and acts as like a good good framework now to kind of build the rest of the mix around, where you kind of get the warmth and body for a song where you would expect that type of thing. Now, if I were to start from scratch just to kind of show you with this, let's just start with like the vocal, for example, because I ended up with I loaded up a preset, and there's loads of great presets in here. So I had loaded up something here, which I found, and this is a great way of just kind of dialing it in. Like if you're just trying to to you know, get a starting place with settings, you can kind of go through and there's like a whole variety of different things. So let me just play through a few.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile. So I'll take my time as I sing to you this bedside.
So this one is actually not bad here either. So I'm gonna kind of load that in, and let me just close that down here for a second, and you can see what's added in here. Now, basically the way that this works is you have a series of filters here, which are not EQ points, but they're sensitivity points. So in other words, it's telling the processor where to kind of focus its energy. So as I drive this higher or lower, if I drive it higher, if I take this EQ band and I drive it higher, I can really focus the primary gain reduction within this frequency band. And so what we have here, if I open up the little plate down here at the bottom, there we go. I can, obviously could double click to turn it off. I could turn it on. I can control the Q, the frequency, the sensitivity. If it's on a stereo track, I think on the previous video, I sort of semi-skipped over this, and I'll show you on the acoustic, is a balance control, which allows the primary cues that are sidechain, essentially, that's telling the processing engine where to apply the gain reduction. You could set it more to be fed from, left, right, or center, depending upon whether you're mid-side or left-right processing. You have all the different EQ shapes here, right? So if I do this, I can get, a different kind of shape bell curve, high shelf, low shelf, band reject, etc. So the band reject would work the opposite. It would kind of work on other frequency areas, and you'd have like a tilt, which would kind of focus it toward higher frequencies. So you get the basic idea. And here we can kind of widen or narrow the scope or area of what it's working on. If I really want it to be super aggressive, I can drag this and kind of, get it to be a little bit heavier, really focus more in that range if I want it to be. If I want to hear this, it's actually pretty easy. If you just use the Alt or Option key on a Mac, you can actually just hold that and you could solo that band up.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes.
Looks like I have all the bands selected here, which is not what I wanted to do, but here we go.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes.
Right, so I could adjust that accordingly, and I can figure out, like, okay, well, where exactly is the harshness coming from or the hardness coming from, and then kind of dial that in a little bit more. Yeah, and it's pretty much that simple. When I get to it, the amount of gain reduction is going to be determined by the depth knob, and then I can control the way that gain reduction is applied by working with the sharpness and the selectivity. So let's just see here with the depth.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by.
All right. So that may be a little bit overdoing it, but I can, drive that a little bit. The sharpness, now this will be how tight of an area that it so it can actually work in very, actually it's easier to show you. So I'll bring it all the way up and you'll notice what it looks like.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by.
So you can see here, this operates more like, kind of what you would get from a multi-band dynamics processor, a multi-band EQ. And then when you go to the other end, you end up with all these extreme, very fine-pointed things. That can kind of pixelate the sound, and typically will, but sometimes that allows you to really dive in a little bit more and, get to the essence of a problem.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bite. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy.
All right, so I'm moving the sharpness back a little bit because I really want a smoothness here. I'm not trying to add an edge here. I want this to sound really natural. So as I kind of dial that back, I get a little bit more of a natural sound. The selectivity is kind of an interesting feature because if well, here, I'll show you. If I dial it in one direction, it'll kind of spread out the processing over this wider selected area. And if I go the other way, it'll be more specific to sensitive to very specific resonances. Right, so here we go.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bite.
Right, so you hear the different. You can see the difference there, where it kind of, spreads the gain reduction out over a wider area. And again, that'll give you a little bit more of a transparent thing. The other one will give you a little bit more of a focus thing. And somewhere in between is like a good place to start here. So.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bite. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style.
Now, if I want to control the way that this works a little bit, I can work with the attack and release. Okay, so if I work with the attack, I can make it actually be more aggressive on the attack. Right now it's set to 1, right? So I can make it faster, and right now it's on a fast release.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bite. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles.
So if I slow down the attack, I can actually allow a little bit more of the initial transient to kind of come through, yet tone it back a little bit afterwards. So if I dial that back, maybe I could dial up the depth a little bit and kind of cut a compromise here.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush your bite. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile.
So here with this, so I kind of like that because it allows me to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And the other way to do it would be to use the mix control. I could preserve some of the original. So if I went back to a faster attack, hold on, let me just do this. Let me go back because I'm gonna have to adjust a couple settings here. And maybe go back and do an A/B here. So let me go back here. I had this at 1. I think that this dialed back at like 2.2.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight.
All right, and now let me dial this back. So let me do it like maybe 75%.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh.
So I like that a bit better. It allows me to kind of balance in a little bit of what's there already so I don't totally lose the presence. And in this case, I can actually be a bit more aggressive with the processing if I want to and drive it a little bit more. And in these cases, it sometimes, so let me just copy this over to A and experiment this with B, where I could use the hard setting where I'm going to be more aggressive. Now, if I switch from soft to hard, hard allows you to kind of tweak things in a little bit more and apply more aggressive processing where you have something that, needs a bit of extra care and attention. Soft will really get you through most situations in a vocal like this. I mean, it's not like it's in like horrible condition, and it's a bit more of a subtle kind of thing with the vocal sound where there's a bit of harshness. The S's are obviously exaggerated, but it's not like in a range that's hard to, excessively hard to manage. So the hard will allow me to be more aggressive. So just for the sake of experimentation, if I switch it to hard, the same depth reading is going to give me way more gain reduction. So have a look at that.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by.
I'm going to dial it in a bit more.
I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice.
And then dial this back maybe to like a 50-50.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style, won't you stay a while?
So I like this 50-50 blend with a bit more aggressive processing. It feels a little warmer to me without losing like the presence and clarity that I kind of like from it. And if you need to make up any gain here, you can drop that in here. Using the delta will allow you to listen to only what's being taken away. So it's like the opposite. Instead of listening to it with the stuff removed, you're listening to what's being removed. And sometimes that's actually helpful for really zooming in or focusing in on a particular tone or something. All right, so we got that. The acoustic guitar is a bit more of a case here. So let's take a look at this and see if we can kind of focus in and kind of get to what's going on here. All right, so just quickly, it looks like when I called up this insert, I called up a mono version. So I'm just going to load up a stereo version here real quick so that we can see here. In this, we can operate it in mid-side mode, or we can operate it in left-right mode. So this is the output. So I could really designate here with the mid-side control where I want the processing to be applied. So if I want, I can actually drive this so the processing is just in the center, or I can do it all to the mid, and then just keep it even so it's with everything. In this case, it's a stereo recording, but the acoustic guitar is kind of primarily right in the middle. So the primary problem area is kind of the pointy, attack, like the very metallic attack on the high end, and the lack of kind of the counterbalance of the low end or the body of the instrument. So I'm going to go right to the hard setting here. And then let's see if I can dial this in a little bit more specific to this area. If I wanted to, I could also just say, I don't want to do anything on the body and just kind of filter that right out, put like a, I guess I could put like a resonant cue on there if I wanted to, it looks like. Drive that up and just kind of have it really just up on the high end there. So with the fast attack here and kind of driving this, you can see here I'm using more sharpness, and that helps in this case to kind of pull out a bit of that super metallic kind of thing, the bit, and the selectivity, just kind of getting it, so that it is pretty aggressive. And I'm thinking that the idea with this would be to sort of pull back on the mix here to kind of see if I can find a balance with this. All right, so that's better. Let's see if I can kind of tweak this in a little bit more, maybe pull it back 60%. Now this will actually, when you pull the percentage down, this will display less gain reduction. So it sort of more or less gives you a net because it's really half as much than if I have this all the way up, or at least 40% less. So if you're noticing the display is less aggressive, that's kind of the way it's built in.
Twice, don't be shy, rested on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile. So I'll take my time as I sing to you this bedside lullaby, lullaby, lullaby.
So that really softens the acoustic a lot, so now I can work with it in the context of the track a little bit, blend it in so it's not so aggressive on top of the vocal. So let's hear what this is like and see what it sounds like compared to what I had before.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile. So I'll take my time as I sing.
Right, so you could hear how that accomplishes exactly what I wanted to do, and I just bypassed it just so you could hear that difference, how it softens the acoustic so it sounds a little bit more natural and kind of fits into a pocket with the lead vocal. Now let's just compare it to what I had before and see which one sounds better.
Baby, it's time to say goodnight. So close your eyes, hush by. I'll kiss you once, kiss you twice. Don't be shy, rest it on my thigh. I like your style. Won't you stay a while? Travel miles and miles just to make you smile. So I'll take my time as I sing to you this bedside lullaby, lullaby, lullaby. Ooh.
So here, obviously, I went to far less aggressive with it for demonstration purposes, and maybe the balance is somewhere in between the two of them. Or maybe you select this with the lead vocal if you kind of like the clarity and presence there and the sort of softer approach toward it, and then the more aggressive attack on the acoustic. But just more or less to kind of give you an idea of how the process works here. It's really important to just, when you work on this, it's very important to just focus on, like, particularly the sharpness and the selectivity, along with the depth. Like those two settings are really important because I've seen this used in sessions that people have sent me or misused, and it sounds very pixelated and very harsh. And that was initially, as I mentioned in the previous video, sort of off-putting to me. I A-B it in and out and think it's like, oh, this kind of seems to really smear the sound. But then that's just a matter of, like any tool, it's the user. You can misuse the tool or not understand it fully, or if you really understand it, use it very effectively. And you can see how powerful of a tool this is, and it's one of the reasons why it's so popular. So anyway, that's my little revelation, whatever, 2 years late or 3 years late from the original release, but I thought I'd put it out there for all you guys to check out, and hopefully this helps you to use the plugin better. All right, there you have it. That's a plugin of the week. Oeksound Soothe 2, excuse me. This is the audio examples video.